Lee Corso.
I did not know he was 89.
Yeah, and he's an OG, bro. He's been around for a very, very long time in this industry.
Oh, didn't know when we were back. Oh my goodness. Sacramento Kings season is over. This seems like the longest season ever. This had to be like the longest Sacramento Kings season ever. It was just turmoil just from the jump, to the middle of the season, all the way through the end. We get to the play-in and we lose to the Dallas Mavericks. And we're going to talk about everything that's happened since then. And it hasn't even been 24 hours, and we're getting all kind of stuff going on, right now. But if this is your first time to the channel, please hit that sub button, like the video, comment, and let us know what you think about the Sacramento Kings. There's so much to talk about, so we need all y'all to participate in this conversation. And we're going to, we're going to figure this out as the fans, man. We're going to figure out what we need. We're going to talk about it starting today. Man, we get blown out. Oh, you a little low, 4-5 with your mic.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Cool. We got blown out by the Dallas Mavericks. It wasn't even a game. I mean, from the jump, we just did not seem like we were prepared for that game, to play that game. And Dallas has jumped out on us. Now, I was a little bit surprised, not more so from the Kings perspective, but from Dallas, the Dallas perspective. They really came out to play. And I was thinking like they might not lay it down, because they're all competitive. They're all NBA players. They're in the play-in. Not lay it down, but like, you don't got no Kyrie. AD, he been hurt. He just getting back. I'm thinking, hey, they drop out, get a lottery pick to go with AD, Kyrie, PJ Washington, Gafford, Lively, all these guys. Even then, would he keep all those guys and go get a draft pick, a lottery pick? Yo, but nah, they won yesterday, and they still wait. Are they in, or are they fighting for
They
eighth?
gotta play. They got to play. They got to play Friday against Memphis to fight for
So
the eighth
are they
spot.
playing for spot, oh no? So they're playing for the eighth right now.
They're going for the eighth.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they're playing for the eighth. All right, so
so
they're playing for eighth. So they play Memphis tomorrow. But they smacked us, man, and we are now a lottery team again. So wherever y'all want to start, 4-5, we're gonna start with you. Just it's so much to talk about. I don't even know like where to like. So we're just gonna pick up somewhere and go from there. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I don't even know where to start at this point. I mean,
Man.
yesterday was perfect,
Yes.
right? It was so much stuff going on yesterday, and yesterday pretty much defined
The whole
what the
season.
Sacramento Kings season was, right? Damn near at halftime. First off, let's get into this. Game started off horrible. We wasn't in the game at no point of the game, right?
No.
And I'm on Twitter, and I'm seeing comments. Next thing I know, I'm seeing shit about Monty need to be fired. Christie need to be gone. This person need to be gone.
Can I pause you right there? Because
Yeah.
I just want to say something real quick, and I'll let you continue to fire off. Twitter, IG, Threads, YouTube. I'm seeing the fans of Sacramento Kings fans all over the place. I said it before. Calm down, y'all. Like, yes, it was a bad season, but all of y'all who were just of the mindset like, oh, is this guy? Oh no, he needs to go. He needs to go. Like, everybody wants to play like owner now. Everybody just y'all are owners. Y'all are GMs. Y'all know what's best. We're not saying that, but we're all trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what's going on as fans. You know what I mean? But you still have to have a team. You still have to have an owner. You still have to have a GM. Like, that's what I mean. Like, relax. Like, it's not just going to be
passionate. You can't tell passionate. You know what I'm saying? Fans, bro.
Yes, I can. I can do what I want. First of all, so I'm telling you right now.
Fans deal with a whole lot of trauma. So when we start having seasons like this, it brings us back.
But hold on. But I'm
saying
it almost as a caring big brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, y'all, like, don't stress yourself out, type thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, because
better time is on the way.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
And then we wake up this morning, or before the game was up, before we went to bed last night, Monty gone. Right? Wake up this morning, we got a new GM, Scott Perry. Right? So, I mean, I like how Vivek is moving. He's moving fast, but man, this season was just it was just too much turmoil. I tip my hat to the fellas for ending the season. Even though, with all the turmoil that was going on, y'all ended it, y'all got your ass blew out, but that was just kind of
Embarrassing.
That was the season.
Embarrassing.
You know, that was the season. No effort, no nothing. And I also want to say that I hope this has no deflection on Des Christie and his future. I'm gonna leave that up there.
Dope boy far off.
How you feel? How you feel, dope boy?
Hey man, you know, there was no energy there whatsoever. It looked like they was ready to go ahead. They already had their bags packed. They was ready to go ahead, get the game over with, and go ahead and go take their trip to Paris or to France, wherever they got their little families getting ready to go ahead and go to.
All the above. Or that's the same place.
For sure.
Paris and France, same place.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what I mean. But yeah, all the above. Yeah, neither here nor there. But but you know, just looking at that game yesterday, man, it was no talking on defense. It like they were very confused about who guarded who was supposed to go ahead and guard who.
No rotation.
No rotation.
No ball swings.
None of that. Sabonis, oh my goodness, man. For a person who we didn't want to go ahead and have a terrible game, had a terrible game at the wrong time. At the wrong time. I mean, Sacramento went on a drought for a cool minute where you couldn't even get them to throw a penny in the Sacramento River, like you said beforehand. You know what I mean? But they look very, very confused, very discombobulated on defense for sure. I don't know what got into Clay. I think it was after that first 3-pointer. After that,
oh my goodness, like, Klay Thompson.
He went back flat. To retro
he heard
me.
He heard me. I just said the other day, like, I ain't gonna disrespect Klay, but I'm like, man, he felt that energy because that dude came out and got hot, and then he got aggressive. Then he
went 1 for 10 in the building, so we wasn't expecting Klay to have this game, but. You know, these
he's a veteran, bro. He's a proven veteran. Has won, you know what I'm saying, 4 championship rings with the Warriors. So he's been there. He knows what it takes to go ahead and get a winning pedigree about these boys to go ahead and win. And, like I said,
and when there's no resistance against your jump shot, I mean, if you're just shooting open shots, like
not at all, man.
I feel like when I was watching, he was getting open shots, open looks.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying. The lack of defensive effort on the Kings side was just terrible.
And I'm glad you just said that because I heard you mention
12-year-old AAU team can play better defense than that.
I heard you mention something about just I think both of y'all mentioned something about the offense not really flowing. You just talked about the defense, and that's why, kind of going back to something you just said, 4-5, when you kind of ended your monologue, you said something about Doug Christie, but I can't really say that he left a good lasting impression last night. Now if you bring in this new GM, I think he's going to have a big say in this coaching situation, right? He might already have somebody in mind. Who knows? Scott Perry, that is, they're saying that he's in line to be the next Sacramento Kings GM. I don't think he's signed just yet, but it's pretty much rumored that he's going to be the next guy. I'm assuming he's going to want to bring in his guys, and maybe Vivek has learned a little bit, from the last situation. Maybe he's going to be like, hey, here, you know what I mean? Everything was a mess. And sometimes you do got to kind of clean house, because when you have the residue of the type of things that happen this year for the Sacramento Kings, that can bleed over into the next year. People have resentment. People can have resentment towards each other. That can just like start the season off on a bad start. You know what I mean? So kind of bringing in that new GM, I think that was a good call. They said it was mutual split between Monty and the Kings. So he wanted to go. I'm sure they wanted him to go for whatever reasons. Now, I'm not going to place blame on just one person or one thing. I think it was a multitude of things. And people, because people are people, and if we're just going to blame it on, Vivek, or just blame it on, Monty, or just blame it on, De'Aaron, that's crazy, because we're just going to say like only one person is capable of making a mistake or being an asshole, wanting to leave, or, or making the wrong draft pick, or, firing the coach in the wrong way, or maybe up top. So it's too much going on. There were too many hands in the pot, too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what I think. And then, when you had this whole thing pop up with De'Aaron, the whole season was a mess. And I think we saw the culmination of that last night with that loss, man. So I don't know where we go from here, but it's interesting. Before y'all kick back to y'all, we just saw that Sabonis said that he wants to stay in Sacramento and he wants a point guard. What are y'all thoughts on that? Whoever wants to go.
Sounds good. What do you I mean, you can give me your word all day long and say, yeah, I want to be here. I want to be here until that season.
Okay, all right. Let's do this because we don't know. I'm not going to sit here and speculate what a man. Hold on. But I'm not going to sit here and speculate that a man is lying to us. So if that is true, what do you see for the Kings with him being a part of the roster, and what type of point guard do you think we need to bring to the team?
I mean, hey, if he wants to go ahead and stay, that's better for the Sacramento Kings. I feel
So
like
you think that's so you think that's good for the Kings if he wants to stay? Good for
if he wants to stay.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean because it's a domino effect. Once one person says they want out, it's going to go ahead and trickle down to the others. You got to understand is that when you've been playing for a team for so long and you haven't really tasted success or won a playoff series, eventually you're going to want to go ahead and get to that point. And you're not. At his age, I think he's 28, 27,
somewhere around there.
You know what I'm saying? So you're like, hey, I want to win now. What is this organization going to go ahead and do to further my career longer outside of just the regular season or a playing game?
Teddy White?
I've been humble for the last 10 minutes. You know what? Fuck it. Kings made me sick.
Oh, he made all of us sick.
The Kings made me sick. Your defense makes me sick. The rotations make me sick. The lack of communication on defense make me sick. All this damn isolation basketball makes me sick. No adjustments after halftime makes me sick. Everybody in the kitchen makes me sick.
I'm right there with you.
We need an identity.
Right there with you, bro.
We are a tomboy identity crisis right now. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So I agree with you, Stel. Vive, if Scott Perry is the one that's going to come in, let this man make decisions, whether you like them or not.
Yeah, or not. Yeah,
and just live with the results.
That's what we want.
But all right, I love that you just said that, because what I would do, okay, Vivek, that's number one. You have to do that, but then come out and you need to sit in front of that media and be like, I'm giving the keys to my GM. I'm letting him know. I'm letting the fans know. This is his show. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit back.
Right.
I'll support him with what he needs, but this is his show. Because then I think just for the fan base, they do need clarity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there's so much confusion. Like, I'm looking on social media. There's one person saying this and that. Like, but we're all just speculating because we really don't know, because nobody's really saying nothing. You know what I mean? So, and the things that people are saying is kind of like, well, that kind of contradicts what you're saying there, because you did this or you said that, but then you, like De'Aaron Fox or Monty McNair, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's contradicting themselves, and I'm talking about those three parts really.
No accountability.
Fox, Monty, Vivek.
No
I feel like
accountability.
we've heard conflicting things from all those guys, and those are three big parts to what happened to the season. So just Vivek, put it in the hands of the GM, let him run the show, but convey that to the fans. Sit and be like, yo, I'm giving him the keys. Like, what do you think about that, Doughboy?
Well, I mean, I feel like he's got to go ahead and let his team know too as well. He's got to let his players know, hey, I want you guys to buy into my product that I got going on in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
I want you guys to go ahead and be a king. I want this organization to have some type of identity when it comes to being talked about amongst NBA analysts, fans, for that matter. So yes, Vivek really needs to take a seat back, chill out. You're an owner, just do what the ownership normally does, is on the top half of it. Let your GMs cook. You know what I mean? Let them make their decisions. Let them figure out who they want to go ahead and bring in as far as from a player personnel standpoint. You shouldn't have your hands all in it like that, to where now the GM's kind of questioning, like, well, damn, can I go ahead and do my job? If I can't do my job, what am I here for?
Yeah.
At that point, you got to start questioning that situation.
Yeah, we don't need another puppet in here.
Yeah, no, we don't
need another puppet in here, right?
We don't need Jerry Jones. Oh, excuse me. Well, Jerry Jones is the GM,
No.
but
yeah. And Vivek,
just
like,
own it.
Just
Mark Cuban did that. Hey, he owned the Mavs, chilled out, let them cook.
This is why you paid them. This is why they have that title, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. And some of the things and some of the moves you have made, Vivek, hasn't been the greatest of moves, right? So that's why we do go out and go hire the Scott Perry's, and I bring it to your desk, and if you don't like it, you tell me why you don't like it. We got to have an open dialect conversation as GM and an owner, right?
Preach.
As the GM, I may know a little bit more about this sport and the players than you, I would think, right? So it's trust all the way down from the top to the bottom. And one thing with this organization, there's no trust from the top to the bottom.
No,
No,
not at all.
from anybody, from the fans, the coaches,
Fans, the
it's
coaches,
just bad.
the players.
It's
bad. Yeah.
it's about right now trying to reestablish the culture that you were trying to build. I wish there was a way, because I don't know if we'll ever fully get the truth, because when you have so many moving parts and different people who have different, perspectives of what happened, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. It's never just one way, or this way. Like, so, but I said it to say I wish we would have kept Mike Brown. But that's over with. And I'm pretty sure we have a new coach coming. 4-5, you just said something a minute ago, and I kind of want to expand on that. You said pretty much letting the GM, run the show and inform his team. What does that look like to y'all now? Like, the season's over. I know, Doughboy, you've been pretty adamant in the text thread about, blowing it up. 4-5, I think you're kind of more in line with me, just kind of like more so like retooling, because you got to keep some player, you got to have a team, but I don't think you're of the mindset of a full, complete blow up. Where do y'all stand today after, now that we know we're not making the playoffs and we're at home right now, new GM, new coach, where do y'all stand today as far as the moves that need to be made? Doughboy, I'll start with you.
Well, when I talked about the whole blowing it up situation, that was during the time frame that there was no direction whatsoever. I feel like now with what's called leaving, Monty McNair, basically bowing out. I know it was a mutual decision on both Vivek and Monty for Monty to go ahead and leave and part ways. I think by you bringing in the new GM, to reestablish some culture, reestablish the trust that he can go ahead and put this organization in the right direction, to where they can go ahead and win again. It's just a matter of how you're going to go ahead and build around it. How you're going to go ahead and build around the ISO, the ISO playing of Levine and DeRozan.
Why? Okay. Can you stop there, please? All right, this is one thing that's been annoying me, y'all. Oh, this is one thing that's been annoying me so bad. Because when you said the ISO play of, and you said Levine's name first. Why? Yeah. Because I feel like it's DeRozan. He has slowed this, because he was slowing shit down before Levine got here. Right. At least Levine runs around off picks, and he's, trying to run pick and rolls. DeRozan's giving the ball back down, turn around mid. It's DeRozan who's slowing the shit down. It's not Levine.
I felt like it was a combination of both. I felt like Levine showed a little bit of it last night too as well when they played. I'm not gonna go ahead and fully say okay, it's completely Levine, but yes, a big part of it definitely is DeRozan. But when you play a lot of ISO ball between the two, hey, Levine, here you go. Cook.
It's just funny that I'm hearing people.
Everybody clear out.
But it's funny you just said that
DeRozan,
because
go down a low block.
It's funny the way you said that, because that's kind of the consensus I'm seeing on like the Twitters and the IGs. Everybody's talking about Levine. I'm like, it's either Levine or Sabonis. I'm not hearing nobody say DeRozan's name. I'm like, what are y'all seeing?
I said DeRozan.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general. When I'm on social media, they're not really pointing the finger at DeRozan. When it comes to like the way the offense looks, they're talking about Levine and they're talking about Sabonis. What are y'all seeing? But I think they're saying that because I'm gonna tell you what it is. Subconsciously, they don't know what's going on. Y'all are not you, but y'all are saying Levine because he's the guy that replaced Fox. So now he's in y'all mind. He it's like you're the new guy. We wanted our old guy, so we're gonna point the finger at you. That's what I think it is. But if y'all really look, Levine's shooting the ball at a high clip, over 40% from three.
Right.
When I watch him, he is moving without the ball, unlike DeRozan.
I mean, he is.
Hold on. Let me finish my point. Go ahead. He is moving without the ball, and I'm talking to everybody. I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. When I'm like, because the people that I'm seeing, he's moving without the ball, and like he's a really good playmaker. He's an underrated playmaker. He be getting assists. He even in Chicago. So he's an underrated playmaker to be a two guard. He's not a point. We know that, but I just don't understand the whole pointing the finger at Levine thing that everybody's been on. Like,
the reason why
I don't get that.
The reason why I threw Levine out there, bro, is because if you see some of these games, and I don't know if it's just because the players on the Kings are doing this, but when they give him the ball, it's kind of like clear out, let him go ahead and do whatever the hell he wants to go ahead and do. That's when the defense becomes stagnant.
Now, is that coaching or is that the play call? Like, Is it
That's
is it an
that's a
ISO
little bit of
call?
both.
Like
It's a little bit of it's a little bit of both. I feel like but we all know that Doug Christie is not a offensive coach as far as what we know of. I ain't gonna take it away from him completely, but when we talked about even like last night's game, when things got very, very tough for the Kings, even when it went to halftime, they came back. Was there any type of adjustments that happened on offense or defense?
I didn't see it.
Hell no.
I didn't see it.
Hell no. That's what I'm saying. So,
but that's coaching. That's not the players.
That might come with right. It has to go ahead and come with the experienced coach later on that could be able to go ahead and make these adjustments to go ahead and get these players in the better position. But yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Some of the games I did watch, I did see a little bit of the ISO ball with Zach LaVine. I've seen a little bit of the ISO ball with DeRozan.
A whole lot of that.
A whole lot. You know what I mean?
A whole lot of that.
But it was either one or the other.
I guess my main point before we get to 4-5, I want to know what he thinks about this. My main point with that specific thing is that shit was going on before LaVine got here. So that's my whole thing.
But then you got to think about it though. You add another piece of the element that was doing the same thing that
but I think at that point that was just that's just what the offense, that's what they were doing. That was just what the offense was in general, whether you add LaVine or fucking Jimmy Two Shoes up the street. That would have been the offense. It would have been fucking ISO. Right. That's what they were doing.
And last point to make before I go ahead and let Teddy go ahead and take over and say his 1-2 was even in situations where it was ISO ball between the two. And when they did give it up, you had players who were too hesitant to go ahead and take shots.
Well, that's now because you know what, when you see that,
goes the ball, shoot.
When you see that, that's because roles are not defined. That's because the offense is not defined. They don't. What are we doing? Like, okay, should I take a shot? Should I drive?
Yeah.
You know what I saw a clip the other day. I saw a clip the other day of Kobe Bryant talking about their offense with the Los Angeles Lakers, and it was like he was like, too many people are playing. What was the word he used? Like, basically, like people are just going out there and just freelancing. He was like, no. He's like, we play with purpose. We knew that if they're Fisher's on the wing, I'm up top, and they want to deny up top. Okay, I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna kick. You know what I'm saying? He knew. Like he's basically saying like you watch tape, you study film, and you play with purpose. That's kind of like the thing that we did not do. I feel like we weren't playing with purpose.
No, there wasn't playing with purpose. No, I feel like that was going all season long.
And that's coaching
from the yeah.
That's the culture of what the team became over the year. You know, and again, I like Doug Christie, man, but that's one of the reasons why I feel like he's not going to be able to retain that head coaching job.
Well, unfortunately, no, he's not.
4-5, what are your thoughts on? I want to hear your thoughts on the LaVine thing, and then kind of go into whatever you want to talk about as far as the ISO on the offense, because I feel like the fingers are getting pointed at Brad. And I feel like it's unfair to him to just keep saying LaVine. Oh, like we should.
Well, no, I'm not. Yeah,
I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you, bro. I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general, like other people that I'm seeing on social media. A lot of people are pointing the finger at him. I just want to know your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have the greatest of game yesterday, right? And I think what you said too, Steph, that's the guy. He
replaced the guy. He's the guy that
so,
right.
That's going to happen. I guess that's natural in trades and somebody coming in, but LaVine and DeRozan was damn near doing the same thing yesterday, just in different forms. One was doing it in a half-court form, and the other one was doing it more in the fast pace. But it was still all isolation and me ball. Mm-hmm. Now, again, that does go back to coaching, right? I'm seeing Keegan run down the court. He has no role in the offense. Go sit in the corner. I'm seeing Trey Lyles run down.
Man, that man bugging me.
Successful. This is not a successful recipe for us to win. No. Then when you take that, I had something else that didn't when I was watching the game yesterday. Oh, we also, right? We got to come to an understanding that Zach LaVine and DeRozan, right? They have not been winners in this league at any point of the association since they got involved in it at all. So we also have to come down off our hopes, because trust me, I'm an NIGGA with hopes, right? I got to come down on my hope and understand that these two dudes aren't winners, and the chemistry of these two dudes do not go together. We've seen that in a whole nother division, and we got damn near the same outcome.
I'm gonna be real with you.
And to piggyback on what you got to say before you go ahead and say what you got to say, that was probably the reason why Monty McNair didn't want to trade for Zach LaVine, because he probably already seen that of what was going on in Chicago. He didn't want that to go ahead and happen in Sacramento. So I can see the reason why he made that statement that he made. Hey, I didn't want DeRozan. I didn't want LaVine.
And this is no disrespect.
No.
Especially to LaVine.
No,
but
LaVine,
understand
None
LaVine
whatsoever.
is a second or third best option on the team. If he's going to be the best option on the team, then we have to understand we're going to probably be finishing like this every
year.
single year.
Right,
so we have, again, LaVine, this is not a knock on you, but men lie, women lie, even the ones that act like each other lie. But these numbers and these stats don't lie.
So 40% from 3 lies. I'm just saying,
Hey,
but I do
get
want to say something though. So you just said something. I kind of want to like, I guess co-sign, but going back to DeRozan, and I'm not trying to beat up on DeRozan. I'm not, but when you think about it, bruh, he was in Toronto and they didn't win until they got Kawhi. Went down to San Antonio, didn't really do nothing. Went to Chicago, kind of the same thing. Sacramento, kind of the same thing. So what I truly think is he's playing an outdated brand of basketball, but he's good at what he does, but it doesn't fit in today's game. It's not conducive to winning basketball in the NBA now. But
I love that resume. I love what you just did.
No,
I love that.
No, yeah, it's just not conducive to winning basketball in the NBA right now. So that's why I said, I think if you really know basketball and you really know what you're watching, if you want to keep one guy over the other, I'm keeping LaVine. I'm keeping the guy. I'm keeping the more athletic guy that actually can run off of picks and he's actually trying to play make, who could shoot the three. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking that guy.
That's fair enough.
I would move on from DeRozan. By the way, I'm looking right here on YouTube. I have some videos going up while we're shooting. Malik Monk just said he's all in on his future with the Sacramento Kings. So we got Monk that said he wants to stay. Sabonis that said they want to stay. I'm going to take it as face value until we hear otherwise. So we have 2 guys who say they want to stay. How does that fare?
Go grab the point guard. I'm fine with
I just think we need a point guard.
LaVine, you don't escape because your resume is identical.
Mm-hmm.
Identical to DeRozan. You just look prettier when you do it.
Well, here's the thing.
It's identical.
But here's the thing, though, right? Again, you just said it. We're not asking him to be the number one option. You know what I'm saying? But we do have to figure out who that person is, right? So if that's a bonus, all right. But now, okay, if that's a bonus, now you have to find a way to maximize his skills the best way you can. Now, what I've been saying on this channel for 3 seasons is the guy is undersized.
We've been saying put him at the 4.
He needs to play the 4, and we need to get a center to play alongside of him. But I would like it to be a stretch 5. Somebody who could knock down a 3 if they have to. I'm not saying we can't. We're gonna get this player because we can't. But a guy like
Nas Reed or something like that. Something like
Nas Reed is Nas Reed is a free agent at the end of the year. Just
game changer.
But Sabonis was hitting the 3, kind of like down the stretch of the season. He was hitting it.
At times, Sabonis he going to this Ben Simmons mode where it's like
it's not that bad.
What do I do?
Don't do it like that. It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
That's what
I see what you're saying. Before. I see what you're saying, but Ben Simmons.
Don't tell me you've been in the gym with Keegan all summer and you ain't came out here and shot a jumper.
But Sabonis wants to stay. Malik Monk wants to stay. I'm sure. And again, if we hand the keys to the GM, there's no telling what he's gonna do. He might package a few of these guys up.
Sure.
We pretty much know this roster is not gonna look the same. I truly believe DeRozan's gone. I think he's the first guy gone. If I had to pick a second guy, it depends on what you can get for Sabonis. What type, you know what I mean? Like, because big man, centers don't really go on trees. And if he's our center, do you trade him for another center?
Pretty much keeping Keegan and Keon.
But no, I was gonna say that, but I'm not so sure because if we get this new GM, he might not be high on bruh. Now I don't know why you wouldn't be high on a 6'8" wing that could shoot and play defense. and actually
too
plays
young.
hard. I don't know why you wouldn't be high on
too
that,
young.
but
He
that's
too
just
young.
me.
He too
Oh, you
young to
talking
move
about
off us.
you talking about Keegan?
I'm talking about Keegan.
I mean,
I've been catching. Hey, I told you I've been catching slack on that shit. I've been saying,
you
hey,
should.
look, man,
You
it might be time to go ahead and move off Keegan, bro. See what you might be able to go ahead and get, bro. You might get a couple pieces out of him.
Here's my thing.
Wow. And I understand where you guys are coming from. You know, he's young. He plays defense. He can go ahead and shoot.
Oh.
I get it for sure.
Then why
110%.
trade that? And he's young. Why do you feel like you need to get? If you're telling me you can give me who? Okay, so what do you put him, like a B- tier player?
B tier.
Okay, so
for right now.
All right, so
B-tier.
if you could tell me you can give me a B+ tier or maybe an A- tier guy, who would you want to replace? Like what type of guy? Just give me some names.
It just depends, man.
We don't know who we're gonna get, but I want to hypothetically. You're playing fantasy basketball. You're the GM. Who would you go out there and get if you could?
Cam Johnson.
He's not better than Keegan to me.
What?
Why do you say that? What based on what?
I feel like I'm gonna be real shit. I've been saying this, man. I just feel
Keegan's
like
better than bro. He's more skilled than bro.
I feel like Keegan is just somebody needs to pull that dog up out of him. He's just too lackadaisical for me, man.
I mean, that's Iowa.
He just seems like he's out there. He's just like, okay, I'm out here. Like it's like, no, bro. Like really be engaged and engulfed in this game. I just don't see it at times, bro. And that goes back to what I was saying to you through the text thread, and then also right now, when he did have the opportunities in yesterday's game to go ahead and shoot the ball or to drive it, he didn't seize the moment. We need you to be more of, okay, cool, I got the ball in my hand. These cats ain't hitting it. Let me see what I can go ahead and do on my end to get my game going. He deferred too much. Oh, here you go. And then when he did finally go ahead and get the ball down, especially down the low block, he blows a layup or he gets blocked. Or when he takes it, or when he's out there on the 3-point, line to go ahead and take it, he pump fakes and defers. Bruh, like, and we said it might have been the fact that they got DeRozan over here, kind of stunted his growth a little bit because he did regress from 2 years ago when they did make the playoffs versus now.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is how are you going to find this same Keegan that was there 2 years ago that everybody was high on?
You got to move DeRozan
for the next 2 or 3 years.
My boy texted me yesterday. He says, and I've been saying this too. The acquisition of DeRozan stunted Keegan's growth. I'm not sure you needed DeRozan. I'm not sure you needed him. I think if you would have, but then we would have been saying like, oh, they're just trying to run it back. So see, you can't win if you're the Kings because if they just ran it back, we're gonna say, oh, you just ran it back. Cause I said that the year before, but then when they added DeRozan, I was like, okay, yeah, like all right, he'll be an upgrade from Harrison Barnes. Right. But then I didn't know he was gonna become the fucking focal point of the whole team. That was, you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, and then we didn't anticipate the Fox thing. It was just,
hey, I don't think that was his choice to be the focal point. I think it was just
when Fox left. That's what happened. It was when Fox left.
I'm talking about even before Fox left. Yeah. It seemed like he was still the
I'm
focal
gonna tell you
point
what happened. No. What I thought,
like Fox was deferring to him too.
He was. That exactly, and that's what it was. That didn't make no sense because Fox. And I said it to y'all when we first got him. I was like, I feel like they're trying to like make him comfortable. I remember I kept saying that the first 10 games.
You did.
I was like, I feel like they're trying to make DeRozan comfortable, get him his shots. No, make him fit into what y'all niggas got going on because he's coming to join you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't make it to where it's like, and then all of a sudden it became his team. 4-5, you just said it a minute ago. We've never seen him show that he could lead a team to winning, right? And I'm not gonna sit here and say he can never win. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, but we haven't seen it yet, right? So when you put the ball in his hands, even when Fox was here, it's like, why are we deferring to this guy and catering to his needs as an ISO player? Make him fit into your scheme. Like, I feel like that's where we messed up.
One of the things
I agree, 110%.
One of Mike Brown things was the players moving without the ball. Right?
Ball, yes.
Continuously. And we brought in a player who does not.
Yeah.
The only time he moves is if somebody's on the low block coming to set a screen for him so he can come up and grab the ball for the post. Yep. He's not moving with the ball. He's not cutting. He's not. Once he gets the ball, it's isolate. If somebody comes to me, I'm either going to shoot over them or I'm going to kick it out.
Right.
That's the offense. So we went away from what the culture was going to be, which was similar to the words. Everybody's moving without the ball, continuously cutting, continuously screening. Like that shit didn't even exist the last 5 games, 60 games.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
Nah, yeah.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, you made some good points in that regard, Simps. With Levine, I wasn't gonna say Levine was just strictly ISO, get down on the low block and let me do my Dougie. It was more so. It felt like once he got the ball, it seemed like the whole damn team just cleared out.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Levine got the ball. Let's go ahead. Let's just let him go to work. No, you shouldn't go ahead and do
and
that.
they did that the whole season though. Even with Fox,
Yeah, they did.
You made a good point because they did. They started playing like that and they finished playing like that. The team became DeRozan led, and I don't know why. Even Sabonis kind of like
he took a step back.
We gave the keys to DeRozan, and I don't know if that was a conscious thing or if it just kind of happened. Like I don't.
I think the players might got in their head, bro, and been like you said beforehand. Stealth is that they wanted to go ahead and make him feel comfortable enough with being in Sacramento by deferring. Hey, let's go ahead and get him the ball. Let's make him feel comfortable. Let's make sure he gets his 15 shots up or 20 shots up a game.
And
you know what I mean?
That continued on through the season.
And you can't do that because you seen what happened. You seen what happened. And like I said, no disrespect to DeRozan. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player. He has a great resume.
I mean, obviously he's an all-time great.
Sure.
We see he's like number 22 scoring all time.
Yeah.
Like,
So
but
he's
again,
up there.
I just feel like his way of playing is an antiquated way of playing NBA basketball now.
So let me say this. With that being said, let me ask y'all that then. Since there is a new GM now, and then with him coming in and possibly, Doug being out, I'm pretty sure the stars are aligned for Doug not to go ahead and return. I hate to say it. Doug did what he can possibly do with what he was given, the keys to. If DeRozan stays, do you think they can go ahead and get an offense that fits around that?
They're gonna have to go ahead and be like, all right, not come out playing like this next season.
Yeah, we're not doing ISO ball no more.
You better not come out playing.
About that?
And then he might not be happy. But here's the thing. I'm glad you just said that because before you asked that question, I just saw right here. So again, I'm looking at these not highlights, these article headers. So DeRozan, interesting, right? So we said DeMontis said he wants to stay, right? Malik Monk says he's all in. Zach LaVine says I'm very happy where I'm at right now. Trey Lyles, see, I'm looking at it was a roller coaster of a season, and he talks about his free agency. Didn't really say if he wants to stay. I like Trey off the bench though, man. I do.
I do too as well. I do too.
I feel like he's a really good rotational bench player, not a starter, but bench. Now DeRozan says he will seek clarity on his Kings future. So I think he's going. Valanciunas says he wants to stay. Larivia, is that his name?
Yeah, Larivia, yeah.
Says he wants to stay. Keanu Ellis says he wants to improve as a point guard. So we're kind of seeing, Keegan Murray says he wants to stay here too. So guys are saying they want to stay.
I don't know. I take these guys' word for face value. Until I see you.
But when I see DeRozan say seeks clarity, I'm like, oh, you're gone. But it didn't work.
I mean, at this point in his career.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go
ahead. Thank you.
Like,
thank you for trying.
Know what? You might as well go ahead. Yeah, you might as well go ahead and test the waters. See what else is out there that might be more appealing to you. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for that. It's like, hey, look, I'm getting older now. I'm at the point in my career that I want to go ahead and win. And the Kings, they're probably gonna go ahead and get younger. I feel like. So it's like, does he really want to go ahead and be here? And I'm gonna call it a semi rebuild, if that is. I'm
gonna call it a retool. I'm gonna call it a retool. Just retooling.
Yeah, retool.
Just retooling.
If they decide, if they go ahead and decide to run it back with this same team, with adding a couple of different pieces here and there, then we can go ahead and go from there and see what happens. But like I said, for me, I take every player's word for face value until I actually see them shooting up and actually playing.
But I think this is honest from all these guys. I mean, even looking at DeRozan says he wants it. I don't think he's sure if he wants to stay, and that's fine.
Right.
Because we knew as soon as Fox was gone,
they sound like Ellis don't want to stay neither.
No, as soon as Fox was gone, we heard him say I came here to play with bruh. So I knew okay, he's not interested in staying here without Fox. But
which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, what could you get for him? 4-5. What do you think you could realistically get for? Now, okay, hear me out. Right, I'm playing fantasy GM in my mind. You got DeMar DeRozan, all time. What we just said, all time scorer. He's like over 20,000 points. Still has, I would say, a good solid 3 years, maybe 4 if he pushes it, stays in shape to play. Unless you want to get younger and you're this team, or if you just want to kind of stay competitive, maybe, ask somebody, with what you got. Could you package up DeRozan with another player, maybe Malik Monk, maybe a Keegan, wouldn't want to do it, or Kevin Durant? Could that be a package that you start? And would you guys say you had like a Kevin Durant, Sabonis, I don't know, Levine, Keon Ellis?
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay, fair.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I just.
All right, so what do y'all like? What do y'all? Okay, no, hold on. What do y'all?
I don't like it.
I feel like there's no satisfying y'all, not you guys, but y'all. There's no satisfying. That's why I asked you. I asked you earlier about 20 minutes ago. Give me some player. Like, give me something. What do you want this roster to look like if you don't want a So you don't want a KD, you don't want a DeRozan, you don't want a Keegan, so you don't want a younger wing that has potential. Hold on. You don't know. Hold on. Okay. You don't want a younger wing that has potential. You don't want the veteran in DeRozan. You wouldn't want KD here. What the fuck do you want this team to look like then?
Look, I said if
no, for real.
Hey, listen, I'm not. Hey, look, if not Keegan, but if DeRozan stays, cool, so be it. You just got to figure out how the hell y'all gonna go ahead and run that offense with him being an ISO ball player. Now, the only reason why I said KD, I don't like the option of that coming to Sacramento is because you gut your whole goddamn team when you get a player like him. Who's coming off the bench now?
Okay.
Who's going to start?
No, but the reason you're not gutting is because you're replacing DeRozan, and you're just throwing one other player in there, maybe with another pick, right?
You seen what they did when he came to Phoenix, and what
fair point.
What Brooklyn wanted.
No, that's fair.
So what I'm saying to you, they're going to want the whole farm, the cow, the tractor, whatever the hell they want. They're going to go ahead and take your team for it.
We're getting somewhere. That's fair, because that's a fair point. You would have to get rid of some good players in a trade like that. So if I don't think
Keegan and DeRozan is just going to be. They're going to want more than
just fantasy GM. That's all we're doing.
Right.
We're not getting into the logistics of it, nothing like that. Just fantasy GM shit. If it's not KD, who do y'all want? Give me some guys that you feel like could turn this thing around and get us to the playoffs.
Right off the top of the head, that's tough.
That's tough, bro. I can't think of nothing off the top of my head right now.
We chilling. Hey, hey, we sit there talking about the Kings. While we sit there talking about it, let's think about it. Could we say Valanciunas wants to stay? So so you got guys that want to stay. Would you keep Val? Maybe to move off Sabonis, and maybe kind of like, okay, we don't want the center to be like the focal point of our offense. Maybe we can move Val to the starting lineup, put him in the 5, along with somebody else, another 4, another wing. You know what I mean?
Well, that would bring in what you bring in Cam Johnson, and Cam Johnson and Murray damn near play the same position.
They do. They're damn near the same guy, but I feel like Keegan's a little better.
So
I feel like Keegan's better.
You can't bring in the Cam Johnson unless you're gonna go ahead and come off of Keegan.
Okay.
So them two, they can't intertwine, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So
what about why don't you put something together with Sabonis and somebody and go get Zion?
I don't like Zion, man. Me and Steph talked about this, man, through text. Oh no, we was on the phone before we went ahead and decided to go ahead and fire up. That boy don't stay healthy. I don't want nobody that's not going to come here to come play 20 games a year or 30 games a year. I'm cool.
Was that mismanaging him though? The health.
That's his fat ass not getting in that goddamn gym and working out.
He got in shape this year though, as far as losing the weight.
He got in shape this year. No, he got in shape this year, but man, but you see what it took for him to finally go ahead and really do that.
Can't shoot at all. Can't shoot for a lick.
Yeah, he can't shoot. So
he averages an easy 26 when he plays. Easy.
No, for sure.
He can't shoot though.
Can't shoot. Can't stay healthy.
And we have that problem with the Kings right now. They have
if you were to do something like that,
team.
4-5, you would have to surround him with shooters.
With shooters, yes, you would have to have shooters for him.
All right. What about this? Right? Okay, so now I'm gonna go a whole nother angle. Right? What if you kind of keep the majority of these guys together, but you add a Chris Paul, veteran point guard, who you know could facilitate?
I would not mind CP coming here to play. You know what I'm saying? To because he actually did good, and it's funny that you said that, or it's a good point that you just made, because Chris Paul is the first player I just seen that they talked about at his age that played 82
yeah, he played the full season.
82, the full season at this big ass age that he's at right now. So if you can bring Chris Paul in here to run that offense, I would not be mad at that at all.
So something like that. I mean, okay.
We're not, I mean, he still plays at a decent level to where you're gonna get productivity up out of him to be able to go ahead and help the other players around. You know what I mean?
So
and I also think too as well. And if you do keep a DeRozan and you do bring a CP on board, that ball's not sticking just in that low block.
Not with CP.
It's not with CP. It's not gonna stick in that low block. CP gonna tell you, hey.
So do we just need a facilitating point guard?
Yeah, nothing changes. Nothing changes until we get a point guard.
Point guard, yeah, I feel like that. I feel like that's always been an issue. Yeah,
nothing changes until we get a point guard.
Definitely.
So that's the priority first.
Yes.
I honestly would have liked to see Keon in the point guard role a lot more.
I didn't like
playing out of position at the 2.
Well, he says he says here that he hopes to improve as a point guard this offseason.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, it's a job security.
Yeah,
on a team that has no point guard.
The point guards.
Yes, the nigga in the concession stands this summer. Guess what he gonna be doing? Working on his point guard skills because the Kings is going to have an opening.
Yeah.
Hey, so basically you got these cats right here, bro. You got Kyrie Irving on a player option.
Oh, he's staying.
You got Fred VanVleet with a team option.
Not really a facilitator.
You got D'Angelo Russell on a player option. Chris Paul's going to be a complete free agent. You got Josh Giddey, who's going to be a restricted free agent. You got Tyus Jones for Phoenix. You got Malcolm Brogdon. These cats are free agent. Dante Exum, Markelle Fultz, and Spencer Dinwiddie so far.
We got Fultz.
Dinwiddie.
And we already got Fultz is already on their roster right now.
So all right, all right. So there's a bit of a silver lining.
I wouldn't be mad if they brought Fred VanVleet to sack.
Not a facilitator.
Then you have to keep DeRozan because their game is very, very similar.
He's not really. He's kind of shoot first, guard.
Yeah.
All right, all right. We haven't talked about this, right? Silver lining. We're going to be a lottery team, right?
Right.
Well, the ball kind of falls in our favor. We get like a top 5 pick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, who knows? You never know because it's not like, you know, they don't have it like how it used to be to where like all the worst team gets to, you know.
Right,
you never know,
right.
We might get lucky. What do y'all think we should do with that? Another point guard? Like, we didn't even talk about Devin Carter. Oh my God. Who made that call? Was that a Monty call? Was that a Monty?
I don't know.
I want to know whose call that was, y'all.
Hey, Devin Carter or Devin Carter fans, hear me out. We are not trying to make this man seem like he's bad at all. And I know my cousin be watching this too as well, and he felt like that was a great pickup. No, it was not. Not for him to be a lottery pick. No. When I seen that man guard what's called 94 feet yesterday and was getting blitzed, and nobody stepped in, Doug or none of them stepped in and said, "Hey, look, bro, no, we ain't doing that no more, man. Come pick him up at half court or pick him up three quarters worth or whatever the case may be." No, bro, not in playoff basketball. So no, I feel like that was probably a Monty McNair call, or it could have been
I think Vivek made that damn call.
It could have been Vivek, but yeah, no, that Devin Carter shit was trash though, bro.
4-5. Thoughts on Devin Carter?
Just get better. Get better on your handle. Get better on your jump shot. Get more comfortable. You know what I mean? You're coming into a second year. Find your role. Find your niche. So you can so you can have a third year. You know what I'm saying? Just get better this summer, big dog, because again, that's a position that needs to be fulfilled.
So let me flip this real quick before you go ahead and move on, or what you was out there. Go ahead and ask again, Stealth. What do y'all think about possibly bringing in Miles Turner to help out? I know he played in Indy with Sabonis. What you think about bringing him into Sacramento and moving?
To answer that question, I wouldn't be mad at acquiring him, but get rid of Sabonis. I don't want both of them.
You don't want both?
I put him at the stretch 4.
And then let Valanciunas play?
He can shoot the 3. He can shoot the 3.
He can, right? Exactly.
He can stretch the floor.
Knocking that down.
You're definitely knocking that down.
So now we're getting 2 Chicago teammates and 2 Indiana teammates and bringing them. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm saying you're gonna have to come off. You're gonna have to come off somebody. And like you know,
it doesn't guys, but one at Round Table Ranch.
That Round Table Ranch do go crazy.
It's fire. It's fire for sure. But to say that is, yeah, if you do bring in let's just hypotheticals. You know what I'm saying? I know I normally don't like him or whatever the case may be, but if you bring in a Miles Turner, you're gonna definitely have to come up off of DeRozan. And like I said, I see the Kings moving off of DeRozan.
But they want him in Indiana, or would it be a 3? Because they got Siakam.
They got Siakam over there, exactly.
Unless they do like a 4. I don't know.
So look, these are the only people that they got so far. You got Miles Turner, you got Julius Randle, you got Brandon Ingram.
He resigned, I believe.
Oh, did he resign?
He resigned with the
They
Raptors.
have him here. They still got him listed. They got him listed here as possibly being a free agent.
Yeah, he
and
signed.
then you got Jonathan Kuminga. So like your options, Nazir Reed, he'll be available. I wouldn't mind him
Nas Reed
to sack. Yeah, Nas Reed. Yes.
Nah, I thought he signed a contract.
He's free agent. Oh, he just signed?
I thought he signed some point this year. I thought.
Yeah, I
thought he didn't. So
damn, it's dry, huh? What? Okay,
what do you get?
What do y'all draft? Let's talk about the draft. Like, kind of the mindset. Say you kind of have the majority of this team together. Do you draft another point guard? That's what I was kind of getting at. Do you draft another point guard?
No,
you know what I mean? You drafted Carter.
That's a very touchy subject, man. Because like you said, you've already drafted point guards. What, 4 of the last 5 years, or 3 of the last 5 years, or something like that?
Fox,
how long De'Aaron Fox been with them?
Was a point guard. Halliburton was a point guard. Davion was a point guard. Like,
yeah, it's like, come on, man. As a Kings fan, bro, you wouldn't want to see nothing like that again. I feel like I feel like this is just too traumatizing.
And they should have kept Davion, by the way. They should have. I don't know why. Well, yeah, I'm sure he didn't cost that much. I'm sure he didn't cost that much. They should have kept Davion.
Bro, especially when you knew you didn't have a solidified backup point guard behind De'Aaron Fox.
Devin Carter.
When you didn't have
Devin
that,
Carter.
It was like, nah. And like I said, no bash at Devin Carter, man.
No. I'm not bashing.
I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke in the comments. I don't want no smoke in my
here's my thing.
Okay,
let me get for real with him. For me, for Devin Carter, I just feel like he was a bit of a reach at where we picked him.
He definitely was a reach.
And I feel like we probably could have served ourselves better by drafting a connect. Was Zach Edey available? Shooter. Was Edey available?
No, Edey was already took. He went in like the first 2 or 3.
Okay.
He was up there at the top.
Okay.
I want to say he went 2 number all, 3 number all, something like that.
Would have been great right there for us, because he could shoot the ball.
Right.
And he can create his own shot as well, but we'll see. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I know, and I just said his name. I know you said, "Oh." And there's a strong possibility after he showed what he did last night that Chicago might end up re-signing him. But I wouldn't mind if Giddey. I wouldn't mind if Giddey.
No. I said Giddey
and do that.
No,
you know
nigga,
what I mean?
Hell yeah, I would take Giddey. Playmate, bro. You see what he's been averaging since
bro? Did you see
since LaVine been gone?
Yes.
Bro, since LaVine been gone, bro, he's averaging like 10 assists, 18 points. He's going crazy.
Been killing over there.
Playmaker,
killing.
And
so. Soon as they move off certain people.
Bro, the team be balling.
Real quick. I don't know if he's still signed with them or whatever, but he can't stay healthy either.
Who?
Lonzo Ball.
I wouldn't, if he could stay healthy, bruh.
If he could stay healthy.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. Speaking of the Ball brothers, I mean, hey, look, man, place a phone call with Charlotte, see what they might want to go ahead and do with Melo.
I'll give you some bonus for Melo.
Yeah. Hey, here you go.
And Devin Carter.
Yeah. I might give you a draft pick. Here you go.
Second round.
I mean, that team is rebuilding.
They probably want more than that, but
they're gonna want more than that for sure. And I feel like even with Chicago with Giddey, I feel like Giddey, if he does not resign with Chicago, they're gonna want more.
You want Keon Ellis, maybe?
Yeah. Because then now you get him.
He gonna put on the show. I'll tell you that.
A young point guard. You're gonna have some passes going to go ahead and play with
shit out of the ball. He could shoot.
Yes.
And he's becoming a better defender too. He's not great yet, but he's becoming a better defender. On ball.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know, bro. It's a lot of moving pieces that have to go ahead and happen in order for the Kings to make a drastic change to be a playoff contending team again. But you also got to go ahead and be able to figure out how you're going to be able to buy these guys in to what you're selling. You know what I mean? You got to sell them like, hey, look, this is what we're going to go ahead and do. And speaking of that, what you can go ahead and get into as far as like the new GM. If you want to go ahead and talk about that.
Well, no, we'll see what he does. I mean, like I said, if you're Vivek, just hand him the keys, man. Like let him do his job. I mean, because that's where a GM is going to shine, to where like you actually let him do what he needs to do and you take your fingerprints off of it. Let him do his thing, man. And put
And the crazy
if
part,
you
and the
hire
crazy
him,
part about it,
put your trust in him. Let him,
yes, yeah. And the crazy part about it is, man, from what I've been reading on him, is that he was a part of that Pistons team, that 2000s Pistons team, that ended up winning the what's called the finals when they had Chauncey and all them, all them cats there. He had helped out with that. He helped out with building the Knicks on who they are right now. So, like you said, give that man the keys to the car.
Mm-hmm.
Allow him to drive that joint until he drives it off the cliff and you feel like you can't take it no more. Then make them phone calls. But until then, Vivek,
you have
words
to
of
trust,
advice,
you have to
sit
trust
your butt
GM.
back and just chill out and let this man cook.
Yeah.
Vivek, your ass on the clock. How about that?
You ain't that ownership team, bro. Real talk.
How about that, Vivek? And I love you, Vivek, but you on the clock too.
Man.
That's just what it is.
Lastly, I don't think we've really talked about it. Coaching. I mean, we kind of touched on it earlier, but we really didn't dive deep into it. The coaching. Doug Christie said he wants to come back.
I'm sorry, Doug.
I'm with you.
I'm with you, Doug, but just with what I seen this year, and I know you had a good amount of time, and I know there was a lot of turmoil going on during that time frame too as well.
There was. But he didn't have a point guard.
I just don't see them bringing him back on a full-term coaching basis.
Not when there's so many other coaches out there that you can like.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, you know who we didn't talk about that I felt like, and he still has not got a job, and maybe he doesn't probably want to coach again, considering what took place in Golden State.
Mark Jackson.
Why are we not looking at Mark Jackson?
I think he's that's over with.
Damn. So you think that Golden State went ahead and messed him up that much where he does not want to sit down on that coaching bench?
No, I don't
whatsoever?
think it's him. I think it's things that happen that kind of resonate, and then it trickles down that hey, we're not really rocking with this guy.
Right.
I think he.
I don't know. There's some coaches that are out there. I mean, Sims, you said Sam Cassell was another one.
Taylor Jenkins, man, them is the ones. Go get one of them too.
Interview him at least.
Interview him, yeah, bring him in.
At least interview him.
Hey, why hasn't Sam Cassell got a head coaching job?
I don't know.
I mean, he's been on the benches for a very long time.
He needs one. I think he deserves a shot.
Hey, I ain't gonna be. Hey, like I said, man, I don't know.
And
if
he comes from a championship pedigree. Like he won with the Rockets. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They won a championship with Boston and things like that. Like, like man, like he knows how to win. Bring him in for an interview.
He's been around it.
And with this head coaching thing, especially when it comes to a lot of times, you only gonna get one chance, and when that foul opportunity is the only one that presents itself, sometimes it's not even worth it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if Gundy comes over to the Kings, bro. I've been saying that.
You got Gundy, you got Cassell, you got McMillan, you got Brooks, you got he's a Taylor Jenkins, you got. I'm sure Mike Malone don't want to come back here, but he's out there.
But he's out there, exactly.
It's a lot.
Got Bud.
But who? Budenholzer. Yeah.
Budenholzer. Got Frank.
Yeah, you got Frank Vogel. You got Vogel out there.
There's some names out there. Is Monty Williams still out there?
Yes, he's still out there too as well.
Monty's out there?
I think so. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Monty's still out there too as well.
Charlotte had fired their coach early in the year.
Who did?
Huh?
You said who fired their coach?
Charlotte. Didn't they fire their coach, or didn't they get a come off of their coach?
Oh, wasn't that Steve Clifford old ass? I think he was retiring anyway, I think.
Nah, it was somebody else. Dark hair.
No, I mean, shout out to Steve Clifford. I ain't trying to get at him like that, but
what took me out with that one.
But there's coaches out there though. There are some coaches out there. And
there is.
Trey Lyles might be gone too. I don't know if I had to guess, but again, we don't know what Scott Perry's gonna do. We don't know what Hey man,
and like I said.
He might shock all y'all.
That's what I'm saying. I think it might be some big shakeups. I do.
I agree with you on that one. And like I said, if you're on the outside looking in, or if you are, what's his name again? What's the new GM? I can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing. Yeah. When you look at it, and you got Levine and you got a DeRozan, who are damn near almost identical to a certain degree, he's gonna move up off of one of them players.
I think so too.
And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more. It's probably gonna be DeRozan before it will be Levine.
Well, I think DeRozan is gonna request to go. I don't think he wants to be here no more, which is fine. I'm not knocking him for that.
And I ain't gonna let
you because if you came here to play De'Aaron Fox, I'm not mad at you for wanting to leave.
Right? No, not
it
at
didn't
all.
work
not
out.
one bit.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
you
like,
came here for
bro.
1 year. You tried to give it your all.
But
you want to go ahead and come here from Fox. Hey, appreciate it. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
You know, I'm not mad at you, but like, if he wants to leave, like, please.
I don't know what we're gonna be. I don't know what we're gonna be able to. I don't know what we're gonna be able to get for him.
His request.
Excuse me. I don't know what we're gonna get for him though.
That's
only not. It's not gonna be much.
Depends on the team. Depends on the team's needs.
Who's gonna be desperate enough to go ahead and do that though?
Because I'm assuming if you're DeRozan, do you want to go to a winning? I hate that term because it's so broad. But do you want to go to a winning organization or winning situation? Like, and what does that look like? Because I'm thinking like, if he, you know, maybe Portland got some young guys that I wouldn't mind. You know, if he wants to go somewhere, like, or does he? I don't know what he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up.
I mean, there's players on every single team that I can look at and be like, yeah, I'll take him. Like,
yeah,
but it depends on, you know, I don't know. Like you said, I didn't think about that till you just said it, that we might not get much for him.
What's that? Oh, you went out.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. So what now?
I didn't think about that till you just said it, that we might not get much for him. You know, because he's
we
older.
Might not, bro. You know what I mean? Just because it's somebody's on the tail end of his career. You know what I mean? A lot of players and a lot of teams are looking at what he just did in Sacramento, whether you're playing against him or just watching him ISO ball. You know what I mean? So it's like, do we really need that?
Well, Five, what's your thoughts on that?
As far as what?
DeRozan, like as far as like what he said, like we might not get much for him in a trade. Like, do you feel like his value is down right now, or?
I mean, he's older. You know what I mean? His play hasn't decreased, but you know, this NBA thing really just go off age. That's how they go these draft picks and how they gonna do a trade, who they gonna send you. So it ain't never really necessarily our production. But I mean, I can't. What, a third rounder, second rounder, like.
And I'm not high on draft picks, man. I feel like I'm not as high on draft picks.
I'm not as high
on NBA draft picks as I am as the NFL.
Football, yeah.
No, there's no way.
When you're dealing with an organization that doesn't draft well.
And honestly, too, I'll be real with you with the NBA.
You got an organization that don't draft good. I can name
the Kings have not been. The Kings have not been drafting good. They have not.
And I'm gonna be real in the NBA. You got to get like if you can get lucky in getting that top 3 to where you can pretty much get a guaranteed player. But outside of that, you might be able to get a gem. You know, some of the guys get drafted later, but that's rare that you get like a really good player. So I'm like, that's why I'm never big on draft picks. Unless you can get in that top 3, 4-ish, and it's a deep draft. Okay, yeah, you know, you might want to pick.
I say mid round, mid first round is where you can go and kind of find some gems. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes them top 5 picks don't work out.
Sometimes
that haven't. You know what I mean?
I don't think last year's draft
11, 12, and that 13.
I don't think last year's draft was that strong. There's some decent players.
It was definitely not.
It wasn't strong.
No, not at all. And I think that's probably the reason why the Sacramento Kings probably did reach for Devin Carter. You know what I mean? I think in probably any other circumstances, with it being a deep draft class, I don't see that pick happening unless you're just taking the bait from somebody who said, "Oh man, we believe this highly on Devin Carter. Let's go ahead and get him." You know, I didn't really see.
He's a defensive guy, so that's
that's what they needed exactly. You know what I mean? So you
anything else? You could tell that last night.
Yes, I agree, 110%.
Hey, what's the kid name from Florida, the point guard? Would y'all take him if we were able to get in position for him?
Yep.
Oh, I think he might go higher though, bro.
Possibly.
He might be a top 5 pick, depending.
But depending on who's picking,
right? Exactly, depending. And that's what I said. So I mean, with the Kings, another lottery pick, where do you think they're going to fall into? They fall into the top 10. They fall into the top 11. You said what?
14th pick, huh? Like, damn, bro. Like, it's just like.
And that's why I said, hey, if you can go ahead and package that up with DeRozan in the 14th overall first round pick or 10th overall first round pick, you might get something back in value. You know what I mean? But it has to be something that another team is going to want outside of just DeRozan and his long, extensive resume. You know what I mean? it's going to be something of essence.
Yeah.
Definitely, y'all. We
Who was you talking about? Walter Clayton?
yes, is that his name?
Yeah,
I believe.
Walter Clayton.
I believe so.
Yeah, that boy nice.
Yes, Walter Clayton Jr.
Yeah, he could play.
Walter Clayton Jr. He has some good stats, man. So he averaged 18, almost 4 rebounds, averaged 4 assists, field goal about 45% from the field. Pretty good player, man.
Let me ask you this thing.
About 40%
for
from
him,
3.
What's is he a short point guard or is he
6'3"?
6'3" about, right?
6'3".
I
I ain't gonna lie. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
About 6'1".
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm starting to really be high on that tall Cade Cunningham, LaMelo Ball, like Luka, Halliburton. I'm starting to like those point guards.
6'5", 6'6", 6'7".
I'm like, because I feel like they're so versatile in like who they can guard on defense, but also what they can do on offense because of their height and their size and their length. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I know they're hard to find. I almost feel like they're kind of like coming up to where like they're almost like the wings now. Remember how it was hard to like. You almost want like a tall point guard like that, like playmaking point guard like that.
110%.
But I don't know if those, if they're available like that. But nah, man, we had to get on here and talk about these Kings. We're gonna be at y'all. There's gonna be all kind of news going on. I know there's gonna be trades. We got draft coming up. I think in about 2 months we're gonna have the draft lottery and then a draft. So we're gonna be looking forward to that. Summer League.
Oh, we're gonna get busy on the playoffs, man. We're gonna get busy.
So yeah, it don't stop. It don't stop. We're gonna
stop.
talk about these Kings for sure. Oh yeah, no playoffs. We're gonna be at y'all with the content, talking about all the games going on. We do have more playing games tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah. And we're gonna see who's in and who's out. And then we're gonna, what we need to do tomorrow. Our playoff previews.
Go ahead.
And our picks. You got to pick who you think's gonna win. NBA Finals.
Who's
gonna get to the finals? Yes. Who's gonna get to the finals and who's gonna win from the East West?
All right, we can do that. I'm gonna go ahead and draft mine up tonight.
Yeah, so we gotta do that.
Game today?
Say it again.
No game today.
No game today.
Nah, Friday, and then Saturday. Saturday is when the actual playoffs start.
Yeah. So it's gonna be.
So I definitely want to go ahead. Yeah,
after tomorrow, we got a good stretch of just hoop. After tomorrow, and it's gonna taper off as teams get eliminated and things like that, and but for the next like 2 weeks, it's gonna be some fun every day, something to talk about, the games and the hoop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, man. Excited about these playoffs, and I'm excited to see what these Kings gonna do, man. Moving forward with this team, new GM, and a new era for the 2025-2026 NBA season, man. Lottery team again. We up out of here, man. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, let us know what you think about anything we talked about today. We talked about a whole lot, so drop the comments, man. Let us know what y'all think. We up out of here.